You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 18th of January, 2026. It is 28 days after the winter solstice. It is 61 days before the spring equinox. By the Hebrew calendar, the month of Shevat begins at sunset. The sun rises today at 7:16 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:06 p.m. The sun sets today at 4:56 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:26 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute, 39 seconds longer than yesterday. The new moon arrives today at 2:52 p.m. and we begin lunation 12:75. The moon rises today at 7:28 a.m. and sets at 4:45 p.m. The first quarter will arrive on Sunday, the 25th of January. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 3:21 a.m., 0 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 9:40 a.m., 1 meter 40. In the afternoon, low tide, 3:58 p.m., minus 15 centimeters. At night, high tide, 10:11 p.m., 1 meter 19. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as the snow began to fall in earnest yesterday, the waters in Hallett's Cove and out into the East River went glassy smooth and calm. A pair of cormorants, silhouetted in black against the gray water, floated together out in the river, barely moving, still and companionable. Perhaps they were a bonded male and female, because cormorants are loyal partners, and form unions that last from season to season. They showed no interest in diving for fish, but placidly shared each other's company on a still, snowy day. Commemorations. On this day in 1943, the Secretary of Agriculture and head of the War Foods Administration, Claude Wickard, banned the sale of sliced bread in the United States. As wartime rationing was being established, he reasoned that the move would save wax paper from the wrappings and the steel used to make the slicing machines. Both commodities could be transferred to the war effort. The ban did not go down well, and just 6 days later, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia announced that bakeries in New York City that already had slicers could continue to sell sliced bread. The ban was lifted on March 8 that year. On this day in 1944, Edward Bing Khan became the first Chinese person to become a naturalized citizen of the United States after the repeal of the Chinese Exclusion Act. That act, passed in 1888, had made it almost impossible for Chinese people to become citizens. By World War II, with the Republic of China our ally against Japan, the frankly racist logic of the Exclusion Act had become something of an embarrassment. By the time Khan took the oath and became a citizen, he had already served for 35 years as a translator in the Immigration and Naturalization Service. On this day in 1968, the actress and singer Eartha Kitt spoke truth to power. She had been invited to a luncheon for women doers at the White House by the First Lady, Lady Bird Johnson. The theme of the luncheon was juvenile delinquency. But when Kitt was asked about crime among young people, she answered that young people were, quote, angry because their parents are angry, because there is a war going on that they don't understand. You send the best of this country off to be shot and maimed. They rebel in the street, unquote. She would pay a steep professional price for her candor about the Vietnam War that day, but she never regretted taking a stand. Today we remember A. Milne, born this day in 1882. The author, poet, and playwright is of course best remembered for creating the character of Winnie the Pooh. He created the character in a series of stories written at first for his own son, named Christopher Robin. His book, Winnie the Pooh, was published in 1926, followed by The House at Pooh Corner in 1928. Although the books were wildly popular, Milne came to resent the way they overshadowed his other writings. Yet who does not love Pooh? Today we wish a happy birthday to Philippe Starck, born this day in 1949. The French industrial architect and designer came to prominence in the early 80s of the last century with his daring postmodern design sensibility, and he espouses a philosophy he calls democratic design, creating mass-produced goods accessible to a wide public. Happy birthday, Philippe Starck. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 18th of January, 2026.